Hi and welcome to another edition of The Tracker here on Citi TV. I am at the historic Atokwashi Gym and I'm being told that it has been in existence since 1970. Guess what? I'm in the presence of a world champion. Joshua Clottey, former IBF welterweight champion, is my guest on The Tracker today. Joshua, it's good to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
Before we came in, I realized that you had gone for a run. You were in your gym clothes. What's going on? Are you plotting a comeback?
Well, I'm not retired and I'm not into active boxing. Okay. But anything can happen. So I always get ready for what can happen. So every afternoon around 11:30, I have to go to the beach, a run, and do a little bit shadow boxing. That's it.
You're telling me that even after moving away from the mainstream for such a long time, you are still keeping actively fit just in case anything happens?
Yeah, this is what I wanted to be the rest of my life. I will do my jogging and everything all the time. You know, sometimes when you have a wardrobe, like you bought a lot of things in stock, and you have your size, you used to buy those things. So when the time comes and you don't even do nothing, you're gonna blow away. So if you blow away, you have to change all your wardrobe, and it's kind of very expensive. So
that's a very good example. But let's go to your very beginnings, Joshua Clottey, the boy, right? Because a lot of people don't know a lot about you. Tell us about where you grew up and where you were born.
Well, Bukom, of course, you know, I was born there, and you know, the family is very poor. I remember when my father always sent me to go and borrow money from his friend. We can buy gari and a fried fish. Then we all eat in the center of where we sleep. After that, I can sweep. Then we put our mat on the floor, and my father will be on a bed. In the morning, whatever we pee, in the midnight, in the morning, we can take it and throw it away. So it's a kind of very hard situation. So in my boxing career, all I wanted to be is to be a champion and become somebody. And with Allah mercy, I think I get there.
Let's stay with your growing up and upbringing. Did your parents have enough money to take you to school, or right from the beginning you made up your mind that sports or boxing is what you wanted to do?
Well, I'm a very brilliant guy. That's what I know, because my teacher always told me I have to stop boxing and become a medical doctor. That's what he always tell me when there's a class. But you know, for some reason, I developed a love for boxing, because I used to play soccer. And one guy was in Bukum beating everybody. And I was playing soccer at the same place. And I was like, oh, why this guy always beating everybody? I wanted to fight him. And the guy beat me up bad. So I started thinking that I have to revenge, and I become a boxer. You see, but we don't have money, you know. In the school too, I used to go to Akutolante, and I think Akutolante primary school, and I think it was my shift the time that the children fall into the well. I was there. That time we were praying behind the school compound, so I wasn't part of those that they died, thank God. So you know, there is no money, so going to school and adding boxing to it. So it gets to a time after the JSS, I realized that I'm doing very well in boxing, because I'm in the national team and we're about to travel to Nigeria for the Caesar Games. So I decided to, dog school, because it's kind of very long way in school thing, and boxing is giving me $24. That was 1993.
Wow, that's a lot of money then, 1993.
That was a lot of money. So I decided to put
school aside and pursue the boxing. Hold down one day, we'll get into when you took school up, but tell me a little bit about football, right? Because I picked up that your dad was a footballer, a former footballer. Tell me about that, your father being a footballer, and how that influenced your early beginnings in football, and also tell me about why you chose boxing instead of choosing football, because one would think that growing up under a father who is a footballer, football will be the natural path for you to go. What determined your decision to pick boxing ahead of football?
Well, I think to tell you the truth, I'm a young boy. I don't even know what I am doing, the truth. Because you see, I think I love football. And because somebody was beating people, I decided to fight him. And he beat me up. So
that was an amateur boxer?
Amateur, yeah. In my mind was a revenge. So the revenge put me into a boxing career. So at the end of the day, growing up, I realized that boxing, as a young boy, I feel like boxing is a normal thing that you can do it easily. But growing up, getting to a place whereby it's a pay rank, I realized that it's a very tough sport. You know, it's like a no pay, no gain. Yeah. So I decided that to go all out because you see, traveling with the national team, I traveled to Sierra Leone 1993. Yeah. We went to Nigeria 1993. Come on, that's a lot for me. Yeah. Because going to school, maybe I'll be going to lectures and all kind of those things. I think it's a long thing for me. But the boxing is taking me outside the country. So I choose boxing.
Tell me about where your early boxing gym was. Who were your first coaches? Because you said that you just stumbled into boxing because you wanted to take revenge on somebody. Who is that coach that took you under his wing and said, I see something in you, come to my gym and let me help you out?
His name is, that coach name is Uto Anyado. That's the name we call his name is Uto. He's the one that teach Clottey boxing. Alfred Clottey, Joshua Clottey, Emmanuel Clottey, James Sama, most of the guys.
Wow.
Because he's a good trainer. So he was the one that started telling me that I can do it. After the guy beat me, if I'm not a strong guy, I will not even go near boxing again. But you see, because of the beating, after the fighting, I went to under the boxing, the ring, and I throw out.
Wow.
So the throw out make me so mad to a extent I have to get revenge. So you see, it's like the coach too was like giving me advice, motivate me, and I was talking to boxing.
Is this person somebody who is still alive? Do you still see this person?
Yeah, that trainer is still there.
No, the person who beats you.
The guy that he's the Okada guy now. He rides Okada and I'm a former champion.
You remember his name?
Yeah, his name is John. He's an half Nigerian, half Ghanaian, but he was born here.
Oh, wow. This is interesting. Now, I believe that at this point you're in the national team, which is the Black Bombers, right? Did you ever go to the Olympics?
No, I went to the Commonwealth Games.
Okay.
I went to the Commonwealth Games only.
And then you finished, you moved to professional?
Yeah. Only the, you know, when we were in the national team, was too lot of problems because Eddie Bray, may he so rest in perfect peace, was, I don't know, he wanted me to fight with my blood brother, Emmanuel. And I feel like it's bad. So I am chasing Tijani Moru, who is the national team of the, he's the captain of the national team. And Eddie Bray don't want that idea because he wanted to take the Tijani to the games. I want my brother to go to the games. So I left my weight for my brother and I went to Tijani weight to fight Tijani. I lost to him in Nezima. That was the only loss I've lost in Ghana, professional and amateur boxing. And even that, we fought the second one in Accra Sports Stadium, and I beat him. So I never lost a fight in Ghana before, amateur and a professional. Only one person, but I revenge it. So
now tell me about amateur. You spent time in the amateur. You spent time in the gyms of Bukom, Jamestown. What do they need to be able to continue producing world champions? Because somebody will say that when you go to America and other places, they have all the facilities in the world, but even they have not produced as many champions as Bukom. What is, first of all, special about Bukom, and what can you, or what can we as a country do to improve the standards of the Bukom gyms?
Bukom is the place whereby when you are a younger boy, you can always fight street fights. That's what we do over there. You know, that makes you hard boy. You can easily turn into or becoming a boxer. The developer, I don't know why they don't really think much about the place. There is nothing there. There is no even a good gym there. It's all normal. All the gyms in Ghana are all physical gyms. So I believe if you wanted to be a boxer or you wanted to be a champion, it will depend on you. Sometimes the gym matters, but you matters more than the gym. Because it's about you waking up in the midnight, like 4 o'clock, going to jogging. It's about you going to the gym 3 o'clock. Not like a trainer will call you before you go to the gym. That's not even right. That you can never be a champion. I remember when I came professional, they always took us to Mala Junction, and we ran from Mala Junction to the airport. Yes,
You're joking.
I am telling you, me and my brother, we are the only people that always finish the run. Those people that we have a car that is chasing us. Okay. So many people goes to the car because they feel like they're tired. But me and my brother, we always finish. When I am in US, you know, when I'm gonna fight you and you based in New York, you can never beat me. The reason is that if it is cold, you feel cold that you can't wake up in the midnight to go to jogging. If it is snowing, you can never wake up and run in the snow. That's the time that you can never beat me, because I wake up, I do all those things, run in the snow, run in the cold, because I feel like I wanted to be a champion.
Wow.
So it's up to you.
That's a very good perspective to share on a champion's mentality. Talk to me about when you went professional finally. Where was your first bout when you went professional finally, and how did you eventually move to the UK?
Well, my first fight was in Ghana. It was a story. It was a history fight, a story whereby, if I'm telling you, it's not easy. I fought a guy called Sami Luchu. That guy was very tall. He's 12 pounds heavier than me. But when I went to the weigh-in, the original opponent wasn't there. So I said at all costs I wanted to add my debit. So at the end of the day, I wanted to fight, and this guy was there, and he was very long, very tall. And I told the promoter that I wanted to fight the guy if the opponent, my real opponent, is not coming. And the guys accept the fight. It was 12 pounds over. The first round, I was beating the guy so crazy to the extent that his mother was crying. And the second round, boom, I don't know what happened. Then after the fight, I asked my senior brother, Emmanuel, when am I going to the ring to fight? And he said, oh, you already win. I said, what? Are you serious? And I started crying. I don't even know what is going on with me, because he knocked me down the second round. So I don't know if my mind lost or whatever. It took me 3 months before I realized myself, this is Emmanuel Clottey. I don't even, if like you're talking to me like you interview me, I don't even know you interview me. It was really bad. I don't know that it put something on me, because I'm not sure it's a punch whereby.
This is your first professional fight?
My first professional fight. You see, I'm a warrior. I believe myself. I believe we all make mistakes in the ring. You understand? And I don't believe in, if you made one mistake, people have to beat you with it. Because even Lochu fight should have given me a warning. Never ever get near to boxing. But I still continue. I become a West Africa continental and a world champion.
Now, would you say that leaving Ghana and moving to the UK enhanced your chances of becoming a champion eventually?
Well, yes, of course, because Ghana is nothing. We don't have anything here in Ghana. You know, boxing, football, everything is down. Even people that they working, they don't even have nothing. There is nothing in Ghana. Nothing. The foundation was bad. Started Ghana, did a very bad job. President Jerry John Rawlings, may he so rest in peace. John Ajikun Kufuor, Evans Mills, Mama, Akufo-Addo, they all doing their best. But I believe, and Emmanuel personally, none of them can do nothing. None of them. Because there is no foundation. I believe when we get, that's my mind, when we get the country from the white people, we should have allowed them to develop the country for us. But when we throw them out, that's where we started suffering. Now, when those people that they are there as a president, they're doing their best. Where is the resources? Where do we get money from? We don't even have a land to develop a factory whereby people, the youth can go and work in the morning and they come home in the evening to make some money that they will even do armed robbery. They will even do sakawa. Because there is no job. There is no job. The whole thing is like the foundation wasn't good. It's very, very bad. Trust me, because listen, even now that I'm coming out of boxing, I don't even know what to do with my life. Why? Because I only know boxing. Even the boxers that they are there, I don't see a seriousness in them. Because they don't even have money. As soon as you get there, you're going to use your money to take care of them. If they don't become a champion like me, then you're not going to make money. Your money will be wasted. Because the country is not even going nothing. It's not doing nothing, trust me.
Now, in the UK, I realized that you fought at Wembley, you fought at a lot of different venues. What were some of the lessons you picked up from the UK's boxing system that you think that by now we should probably have applied some of these things?
Well, it's waste of time there in UK. Waste of time. Because when I get to UK, I wanted to...
How long did you stay there?
Almost 6 years plus or something. Almost 6 years.
Do you believe that time was wasted?
It's wasted. I fought 11 fights in Ghana.
Okay.
And I went to UK 19. 1 year I fought 11. And I went to UK 1996. It was all waste of time. Because they don't want you to fight their best. Like in professional football. They want their footballers to play. They don't want outsiders to play. That's how they are. I don't want to call them anything, but that's how I feel. I was there, I wanted to fight their best, and their best don't want to fight me. So I went to I get a WBC International, okay. And I fought Bandome. And they dropped me on no disqualification. So I went to the promoter and I prayed with him. Yeah. I begged him, he really liked me, and I told him he should release me. I wanted to go to US. I got to US in 2003. 2003, my life was better. I started fighting the best guys. I fought the best. I fought all the best guys in my area in welterweights, because that is the place where the boxing mecca is.
Wow. Now let's just finish the conversation on moving to the UK, because I realized that when your professional career took off, you went 20 fights unbeaten and 14 knockouts. Was this in the United States?
It was in the United States, yeah. It was because, that's the place where they will leave you to jail, if you can jail. They're always going to give you a breakthrough fight. They gave me that fight. It was Carlos Bandome. It was Richard Gutierrez. Okay. That was my toughest fight in professional boxing.
You're kidding me.
I am telling you.
Why was that fight tough?
Because the guy that I fought was 25-0, 18 knockouts. That was the first time we all getting a fight on HBO. So we all wanted to put our name out there. So the guy was huge, big. And anytime he was punching me, he punched me like he want to hurt me. After that fight, it took me like 1 month before I started coughing very well. I coughed like, because I was feeling pains in my ribs. So the guy really gave me a fight. I won on majority decision. 2 judges gave it to me and 1 make it draw. So after that fight, and I had a fight with Margarito, the WBO weight.
Yeah.
So you see, that's a good.
That was your breakthrough fight. Talk to me about the only fight in which you were disqualified. It was the Carlos fight. Baldomir. What happened in that fight? They say you illegally headbutted him.
It wasn't illegally headbutting. I was beating the guy so merciless to extent that they feel like I'm taking the title away. Okay. You see, I don't know. I am too aggressive that time. I feel like boxing is sweet that time. I feel like boxing is a sport whereby you beating somebody to get paid. Yeah. You see, so
you didn't care too much about defense.
I do care, but I feel like it's so nice. So when something is nice and it's sweet, you do it with too much aggressiveness. Okay. And aggressiveness always sometimes make our head go crash. Because anytime I'm coming to a fight, I feel like I already beat this guy. So the aggressiveness make that headbutt happen, but it wasn't intentionally. So the referee should have do a different thing than disqualify me. People really talk about it, even it was mess after the disqualification, but it is what it is. It really matured me. It make me understand how I have to be very calm when I get to the ring. So I started learning after that fight.
Well, hold your thoughts there, champ. We've just been getting through the early beginnings of Joshua Clottey. He's been telling us about where he grew up, where he was born, his toughest fights, going professional and all that. When we come back, we'll get into the fights that solidified his legacy. Zab Judah, Manny Pacquiao, Miguel Cotto. We'll talk about a lot more of those fights. I'm sure you want to hear the backstories behind those ones. So stay with us here on the Tracker on Citi TV. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Tracker here on Citi TV. We are talking to former IBF welterweight champion Joshua Clottey here inside the historic Atokwashi gym. Joshua, you were telling us about some of your earlier fights, including the Carlos Baldomir fight. Let's talk about Margarito, because you broke your hand in that particular bout, and there was some conspiracy later after your hand breaking that Margarito might have been putting something illegal inside his gloves. Tell me about that fight, how the breaking of the hand happened, and how you felt about that entire episode.
Well, we were in training camp and everything was going on. 2 weeks to the fight, I started feeling pains in my knuckles. And we called a doctor, we asked what is going on. The doctor was saying that we have trained the hand too much, so maybe it's stress fracture. So I should rest the hand a week without doing no punching. Okay, we did that. After a week, the week of the fight, we don't supposed to throw a hand. So I started jogging and shadow boxing. We went to the fight. I thought the hands are rest very well, that they can be fine. The first 4 rounds was good. Everything was going on right. The hands was good. And then from the 5th round, I started feeling the pains. And it was a pain whereby if I hit him, I feel it in my heart. So I realized that no, those hands are swelling and it's getting me problem. So I told the trainer, this is what I'm going through. And he was like, so what is going on? But I told him, you know what, I don't want to lose by knockout. Yeah. So let me be hanging there and let's see what happens. Okay. He continued his career, I continued my career before Shamusli fight and those kind of all those plastering team, and they started talking, but I really want to pay attention to it because I feel like it's packed and gone.
Now, you fought a couple of eliminators and then you finally got your world title shot against Zab Judah after, I think Margarito had vacated the belt. That Zab Judah bout, 9th round TKO. Was that the time where you told yourself that I must be great and regardless of how it happens, I must win this fight? Because it's always hard to fight people in their home country.
That fight, I wanted to win so bad. 1, it's a world title. 2, my name will come to the book.
That was your first world title shot?
My second.
Your second shot. You lost your first shot.
With Margarito. This is the second one. I am the number 1 because I fought for elimination. and Zabuda was number 2. And the most of bad it all is I don't like Zabuda because he threatened me with a gun.
Really?
Yeah, because I had a fight and they asked me who I wanted to fight. That time it was the undisputed welterweight champion, and I mentioned his name. It wasn't go down well with him, and he came to the gym. It happens to be like we all train the same gym. And he came to the gym and it was like trying to cause commotion, all kind of that. Later, he wanted to spar me, and I said, I don't need a spar with you. I want a ref fight with you. And he pulled a gun. We left the gym. 4 years time. Before he was the number 2, I am the number 1. The title is vacant. So we have to fight. So the press conference, he was saying that he used to spar with my senior brother, Emmanuel. So the press conference was saying that he used to beat me in the sparring and all kind of that. And I told her, you never sparred me before. It was my senior brother who you sparred.
He didn't know that your brother was a twin.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't know. So before he realized that, this is not the guy that I used to spar. That time, the contract already signed that we have to fight in 3 days' time. And I told her, I don't like you. Let me remind you what you did to me. You came to the gym. You threatened me with a gun. That is me. 4 years back. You remember? So the whole scenario started looking like a grudge match. And I wanted to win the title. Because I won the first one, wasn't good. The second one have to be good. You see, so I really won that title, and even the referee almost took the fight away from me. But with Allah, I think God knows what's supposed to be mine.
Tell us about how good world title fight money is. I mean, how good was the purse back in the day when you beat Sabjuda?
Well, that time was boxing is very hot, and there is money in boxing. But that time, I fought Sabjuda was like $130,000. That was what they gave me. You know, I make that wasn't a pretty money in boxing, but I make good money based on where I come from. But because I signed a bad contract with a manager, so that bad contract always get 33% out of my purse, and I pay 10% to a trainer, pay 6% to a cartman, and pay tax. So my money always divided into 2. But you see, and I am not those fighters that like I quoted that they defend their title that they make 800,000, 1 million in boxing. But I make the huge money I make in boxing was two fights. Zabjuda was 130. Corrales was 80,000. And Margarito was 100,000. That was the money that I started building a house. After I got my percentage, I started building a house. But the 2 fights that I make money was 2 fights. Only 2 fights. Miguel Cotto and Manny Pacquiao. Miguel Cotto was $750,000. But everything that I call was 50% I get because of the bad contract that I signed. And Margarito was, even if all the pay-per-view were included, then it was like 3 million.
That's the Manny Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao. And if I make like 1.5, I pay $300,000 as a tax. So you see, let's calculate something. With all that money that I make in boxing, that divided by 50%, I was able to put something down. Why did I put something down? Because God lead me to that. You can make the money.
You can still spend all of it.
Spend all the money on women, on the bad things, like a bad lifestyle. I never do bad life. I never drink alcohol before in my life. I never smoke. I used to go to club, but not a clubber who always wanted to be there. I have stopped going to club. I don't do all those things. Those money that I make sure that I can put something down. What did I put down? I bought houses in East Legon. So those houses were there. I bought 2 houses there. I used all the money to buy those houses, and I was left nothing. So those women that they come, you can chop what I have in the house. But what is stocked there to take care of future was the one that I used to buy houses. Okay, I was in the house. I'm telling you a story. I was in East Legon, and I was living with this guy. And we were only two in 6 bedroom with a pool, a mansion. And we were there. I started making a paper. I have a son in US, and I have one girl.
The one you don't want to fight boxing?
Yes. And I have one in Ghana. She's in Legon. She will finish university September. So you see, when I put those things out there, they are very important to me. And I was living there. But I realized that, listen to me, I am making a paper. Me doing those big lifestyle, it doesn't even worth it. I have 2 houses in Wager. And I make renovation. And I move all my things to there. And I left the East Legon houses for rent. You don't have to make yourself a celebrity. Why it doesn't even worth it? I am making what more than even those that they play football cannot make. Because those houses, if the time comes, they will pay me the rent. You know, they said everything in this world happens for a reason. I never marry now. I married in USA, we had a problem, we divorced. But I never do that because, at the end of the day, if you marry by now, the woman would not allow you to leave the place. See, now I have a time to jail and do everything that I wanted to do with a woman that will understand me. See, by the end of the day, what you can eat is what matters. I take care of my daughter. She's going to finish university. And the one in America, I send money to them. So I know that those are the things that they are more important. Not that I am this, I am that, I am this and this. No, they don't hear. They don't hear. It doesn't even work.
I'll get into your thoughts again on literally how other boxers should go about handling their representation with agents and finances, because you've touched on it. But touch on the Manny Pacquiao fight for me, because we stayed up as university, we're in the university back then, we stayed up to watch that bout. The crazy thing that struck me, I looked at the fight cards and Manny Pacquiao threw over 1,000 punches and Joshua Clottey threw less than 400 punches. Why was that?
I'm not a fighter who throw a lot of punches. I'm the same thing like Mayweather. I throw targets. I throw what can get you, that can wear you down. Manny Pacquiao is a boxer who throw 1,000 punches, but many did not land. You see, so those kind of people, when they're doing their things, they throw many punches, people started shouting. And the judges get confused. But you see, like Manny Pacquiao fight, I wasn't there. Not because of the money. I really don't think about it. Contract is already signed. Whether if I fight, I'll get my money. But the whole thing is like, it's like the manager situation is killing me because he's making 33%. He doesn't even care about me.
You were unhappy with that situation going into that bout?
Even the day of the fight, I went to his hotel room and I told him that, listen to me, let's talk about business. I want you to bring your money down. I'll be happy to go to the ring and fight. I was making money for you, and you don't do anything. I pay my rent, I pay my airfare, I pay everything. He doesn't do nothing. You only get 33%. He's definitely gonna weak my mind. So I think I was thinking about all those things, and it really took me to the ring. By the time I realized I have lost, and I lost bad. And besides that fight, I wasn't doing nothing. Like I was like going to the mosque and pray Allah to the ring. I never used to do to fight.
What was that story? There's a story that came out that said that you had eaten some banku that somebody prepared for you with okra soup, and that it upset your tummy during the fight, and so during the fight you were not really yourself because your tummy was hurting as well. Clarify that situation for us. Was that true?
Was not true the way they were saying it, right? But I explained it to the guy. I have a very soft stomach. That stomach, anything goes in, I can go to toilet a lot. I can start to go to toilet because that's how my stomach is. And when the woman prepared the food, we were in hotel, so we're not like in a house that we can prepare our food. Initially, it was my girlfriend who always usually prepare the food for me. I always like to eat okra stew because it's heavy. So the woman that prepared the food as I asked her to bring the food to our hotel. When he came, I had the food, and after the food, I started going to toilet a lot. So we asked him, what did he prepare the food with? And he started telling us. He mentioned the canway thing, that we put canway, and I said, oh, we shouldn't have done that. So my woman told her, you should have asked me, because it's not good for me. So I started, it's not a lie that I really went to toilet a lot. Even the day that, the time that I go to the ring, they removed my thing. I went to toilet before.
Came into the ring.
Came to the ring. So it was something whereby it happens. But they changed the whole story. They make it like I said, I hid this and all kind of that. But you know what? It's possible.
Yeah. Do you still think that, like you're saying, when you watch what level you were at the time, what's money at the time, if your mind was not consumed by your finances, the food poisoning issue, would you have been able to beat Manny Pacquiao then?
Yes. Very. You know, the manager really doesn't help us. He should have helped us. I told him, you get it 33%, including the pay-per-view. He make almost like 1.9 million. Only that one fight. So I told him, let me tell you something. You know, let me tell you, this is how it's supposed to be. Just get 25%, the whole fight and the pay-per-view, and give me 8% of your percent. I'll be happy to fight. He said, no, you won't do that. So you see, all those things was in my mind. If not that, I'll wear that guy, I'll wear Manny Pacquiao down because he throw a lot of punches. And with my brokers and with my target, I'm going to give him a lot of problem. I wanted to fight. If like today, Manny Pacquiao can give me a fight without me getting zero money, I'll fight.
You're kidding.
I am telling you.
You step into the ring with money right now.
No money, no pay. I'll fight. For me to bring that name back. That's the only name that they always talk. Bad name they talk about me. I wanted to bring it back, but you know, come on, you know what it is.
Now, there's another fight that never happened. It was a fight against Canelo Alvarez. Apparently, Alvarez pulled out because he suffered an injury of some sort. I'm sure he was very young then, just like you back in the day. You've seen him these days now. A lot of people think he's basically one of the best boxers in the world now. What do you think would have happened if you had fought him then? And even now, when you look at him, how do you feel about fighting him?
About now, he's more mature, but he's not that special. He's doing what he has to do. At that time that he wanted to fight me, I would have beat him easy, because he's also a one-punch fighter. But I make sure that it goes to the right place. So with my brokers, that's what they think before they pull out. It wasn't a hand injury. It was a thing that whereby they don't want to fight, because they saw me fighting in Australia, so they realized that it was a dangerous fight for him. So that's why they even gave me a signing a money for training. So they were there to fight, but they just realized that it was dangerous fight for him.
Let's talk about recent times. Now, you said previously that you had retired, and then recently you came out to clarify that you hadn't retired. Clarify the situation for us now. You are sitting here, you still seem very fit to me. Has Joshua Clottey retired from boxing or not?
No. I haven't retired from boxing, and I'm not an active fighter. Okay. I am both. Because Listen, I can choose not to fight again. I can choose to fight. It's up to me. And I feel like I'm always in shape. Yeah. I just had a fight.
I can testify to that.
Yes, I had a fight in 2019. And I stopped 2 guys.
First was Aziz.
And the second one was Aziz. And the first one was Infume. And they are all young guys. I stopped them and I can still fight. But you see, listen, the corona really put a little bit break. Because when the corona, I am not in active boxing. So the corona really put me there because I was scared that the corona is all over and I started running. Since that, I never come to gym again.
You're running away from COVID because...
But now it's okay, so I started coming. But don't count me a boxer, count me a boxer.
That is a very interesting way to put it. So, Joshua Clottey has been describing some very interesting stuff for us. He's been giving us some food for thought as well. We'll take another break here on the tracker. When we come back, we'll discuss some Ghanaian boxing issues. We'll talk about our recent world champions. We'll talk about the black members because they are going to compete at the Olympic Games. And then we'll talk about life outside boxing. What does Joshua Clottey like to eat? Where does he like to hang out? All that. What are his hobbies even? I'm sure you want to find that out. So stay with us here on the tracker. When we come back, we'll be getting into a lot more of the juice. Welcome back here to the tracker on Citi TV. We are still talking to former IBF welterweight champion Joshua Clottey. Now, Joshua, let's talk about some general boxing stuff. So, in recent times, a lot of our champions have lost their belts. Richard Comey lost his belt to Teofimo Lopez in a second-round knockout that basically shocked the world. Isaac Dogboe as well. He fought recently. He's trying to get his way back. Why do you think that our recent champions are finding it difficult to hold on to their belts for even a year?
It's because it's their contracts. They know the truth. Their managers know the truth. But the people, Ghanaians, don't know the truth. The truth is, they always sign a contract with a promoter whereby it's going to be an option. And when you sign an option contract, the promoter will make sure that you won't go away with the title. Even if you win your first fight, your second fight, the third fight have to be with a cracker. That whereby you lose your title before you go. It happens to Dogboe, it happens to Richard Comey. So it's bad. When you have like Richard Comey on, is a promoter to Ludibella. And Ludibella went to Top Rank, played with them, and they gave Richard Comey fight on ESPN with Issa Cheneyev or whatever. And he won the title, so he have to give Top Rank 3 fight option. And those 3 fight option, he beat Bertrand, right? Yeah. And the second one is Lopez, and he lost the title. If he is now like beating Lopez, if he beat Lopez, he's gonna fight with Lomachenko. So they will make a way whereby he cannot live with the title. That's the reason why they can't even under the title for a year.
Now, do you see a guy like Richard Comey, for instance, coming back to his full form? Do you think he can rise up and become a champion again? Because I've seen that is one situation that's very hard in boxing. To fight, gain a title, lose your title, and fight all the way back up to the top again. Is it possible? It's
possible, he can, but the problem that I have with him is those guys that they are in the weight now, they all have rich amateur career, you see, and it's a factor. It's really big deal because if a boxer have a good amateur background, they're always good in professional. They know the ring from infancy to where they are. So Richard Comey one is from a kickboxing to boxing, which he have done very well because not many people can do that. But you see, sometimes when you get those that they know much about amateur, they always give you problem because they know the ring many years ago.
Strong fundamentals.
Strong fundamental. So as for Richard Comey, he's a very hard guy. He trained a lot. That is his tools to become whoever he wanted to be. He can be a champion again, no doubt. I think Lopez wanted to move up in weight to 140. So if he move up in weight, the title will sprint. So I think he can get that.
How about Isaac Dogbe? He fought not too long ago. He fought Avalos, and then he fought the American Adam Lopez also recently. I mean, the fight went the whole length. He suffered a little towards the final rounds of the bouts, but he managed to win. Do you think Isaac Dogbe can also rise to become a world champion again?
Isaac Dogbe, he can. I can never say never. But there is a question mark. Isaac Dogbe don't have defensive. He's not a defense. He don't know how to defend himself at all. I think what they have to sit down and just think about, like maybe his father, he have to know the strategy. The guy don't have defense. He's a bully fighter who wanted to bully people. And when you wanted to bully people, you have to have defense. If you bully people and they started bullying you and you can't defend yourself, you can decline. That's what happens to Isaac Dogbe. Now when his problem is very huge because his nemesis is still there, and he's the WBO champion, who is the Navarrete. And now when he still wanted to be a champion, unless he goes to a different title, sanction body, maybe. But if he's still Navarrete and with this poor defensive, no.
Interesting thoughts there. Let's talk a bit about the Olympic team. I've been with them. They moved to one hotel resort at the near the Bukom Boxing Emporium. They've been camping for over a month. But I spoke to Isaac Dogbe too because he is an Olympian before. He's fought in the ranks. He seems to think that we don't take the preparation of our boxers seriously enough, and that we can't give national team boxers 2 or 3 trainers and expect that they will bring back medals. What do you think about the preparation the Black Bombers go through, and do you think that they can give us medals based on the sort of preparation you've seen?
No, not at all. As for the medal, I am not sure. Whoever bring medal to Ghana from the national team, the president have to sit with that person or hit with that person, because that person have done very well, because their preparation is very poor. Even where they come, they have a house, their rooms are there.
Yeah.
When they walk 10 minutes, they can see their house. So they can easily go to their room and make love to their women. It's close to where they are. They're supposed to be in Winnipeg, Cape Coast, far from home.
They should be camping somewhere where...
Far from home. But where they are in their house is 10 minutes walk. Not even a car, walk. So at the end of the day, whatever they train, unless they are disciplined to themselves, but whatever they train, they can even release it. And when you train it serious, you're making love, you are doing nothing, because your veins are all weak. I am not saying that they make love to their women, no, but that's exactly the company that they put them into. A situation whereby the guys can go to their room and make love. Even in the hotel, their women around. Their women can come to the hotel easy to make love because it's close to house, which is very bad. Okay, now they are in a camp, they are in a games, where we all pray that they win medal, but it's going to be a very difficult.
What do you think can be done to improve our preparations, let's say the next time we want to go to the games?
Well, as Emmanuel Clottey's time, Clottey's time, Joshua Clottey's time, we always camp in Winnipeg, far from home. So even if Joshua Clottey did not win a medal, the teammates will win a medal. Bronze class full, and yeah, like as Emmanuel Clottey their time, somebody win a medal. I quoted that somebody win because they were camped far from home and they have been taken care of. So I think the government have to put their mind there when there is another games, you see, because it's not all about football. Sometimes boxing too is there. How much money? The money that they put into football, boxing amateur is like national team because it's for governments. But professional is for individual. So they have to put money to there.
to me about trainers, right? Boxing trainers. Because I realized that every time I walk through the gyms at Bukom, I've been to a couple of gyms around, there are guys who want to learn how to train, but it doesn't seem as if authorities take interest in providing the platform for them to learn how to train. So you can see that maybe there are close to 20 boxers and maybe only 2 trainers. What can we do to improve the pool of trainers that we have to make sure that we don't have too many boxers with too few trainers?
They can do everything they wanted to do by themselves. Nobody can put nobody to nobody. You can watch videos. You can watch fights.
You mean the boxers themselves?
No, the trainers. Because you asked me about the trainers. Exactly. The trainers, they can watch videos, run by run, and let them hear what the trainers in America or UK talk to their boxers. You don't have to talk to your boxer who is having a difficulty to penetrate to his opponent, and you rather talking to your boxer about how to penetrate there. You telling your boxer what to do. That is not good. You have to tell your boxer what the opponent is doing so that he will counter. But when you're telling your boxer what you already done in the gym, then you are not a trainer. You're a bad trainer. A good trainer will tell the boxer, you know what? The fight that you're fighting, the guy can always give you your uppercut and come to your body. And when you throw a punch, you always stand step. So move to the right side and do this. But not like you telling your boxer what you already learned in the gym.
A few more questions before we round up. Do you think that we should be staging bigger fights in Ghana? And how much has the Bukom Boxing Emporium helped us?
Bukom Boxing Emporium is doing very well as boxing arena. But when we're talking about the promotion, if what I heard is true, then it's bad. Because when you charging 18,000 or whatever, 180 million old currency for one fight with this non-sponsorship, then you telling the promoters not to promote a fight because they don't even have sponsors. So the fights cannot come because the money that they charge, if it was that money they charge is true, then it's too much. Because at the end of the day, the promoters cannot promote because they don't have sponsors. They have to do something about it.
I wanted to ask you about this. I almost forgot. I hear you are the king of bonfires. I hear you do something called a bonfire when there are fights around from somebody at Bukom. Is it true?
No, not true at all. I don't even involve myself into those things.
You don't do any?
No. I understand. I don't understand. those bonfires.
Yeah.
I understand. I don't understand.
Ghanaians are listening to you. They haven't heard from you in a while. Give them a message. Joshua Clottey, speak to Ghanaians. They want to hear what you have to say.
The only thing I'll tell Ghanaians is we are sportsmen. We raise the flag high. We expecting when we goes to anywhere in Ghana, we expecting that we have to be given the chance to enter. Because you know why? We can afford the tickets. But because we raise the flag high, we expecting if it was a Ghana thing, we have to be allowed inside.
You mean Ghanaians should celebrate their heroes?
Heroes. I went to Accra Sports Stadium Sunday to watch Kotoko and us. It was really hell. A former boxing champion who have shared ring with boxing icons. You can allow a Black Star player to enter stadium who is just Black Star player, who is playing in maybe Cyprus or England, but a world champion, a whole world champion, you blocking him. Come on, man, you want problem. You want the boxer to throw his son or say something for you to talk. That's what they do. And it's bad. We can leave Ghana and go to America for them to take their Ghana. It's very, very bad. I struggled. I even have my car. They wanted me to park my car outside and walk to the stadium before they will allow me to enter. One policeman said, "You don't have to do that. Let the man enter." Why?
They didn't give you access in the end. They allowed you to enter eventually.
Eventually, they allowed me because the policeman said they don't have to do what they do. I don't go out to, I don't do all those things because I'm a very, very quiet guy who always wanted to stay in the one place. I don't want nobody to talk about me. We have a lot of things to talk about in Ghana. So many things to talk about, but because I don't want nobody to talk about me because I don't know who heard that maybe tomorrow I will need to go to. So I know what to talk with my mouth. But there are certain things that they have to clarify and do it in the right way.
Well, Joshua, I think you've said everything. You've opened your doors here to us and shared your experiences with us. We are extremely grateful. Hopefully, some other time we can catch up with you.
Thank you so much.
Well, you heard him, Joshua Clottey, former IBF welterweight champion, fought some of the biggest names in boxing as far as the sport is concerned. He's opened his doors to us. We'll surely take advantage and come back here. But same time, we'll be back on the tracker.